We have a very special guest today, and we just love her. And I tell you, she's from the heart. She's very intuitive. And our topic is hands-free pain relief with guest Sierra Louise Cooper Waligora. And Sierra, she's going to talk a little bit more about it, but I just want to do a little highlight. She is nationally certified. Yes. Bodywork professional, originally from Defiance, Ohio, moved to Britannia, Florida. Yeah. Who specializes in chronic pain and postural realignment and therapy with hands-on needs. She is a massage therapist, and she does so much more. Thank you so much, Sierra, for joining us. You're so much fun, and you got a heart of gold. You come from your heart.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I've had people tell me, I think I had 2 clients that I had met that you worked on. And I was in Inglewood, and they knew you. And they said she was the best, that she was really good. She goes beyond massage. People have to understand that she can tune into the body. And she's got a lot that she wants to share with us. So if you can tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll talk about the hands-free pain relief and how that came about for you and what you can share with people and some of your own stories of how it's helped people.
Sure. So, Sherry, I entitled the show Hands-Free Pain Relief because I have multiple clients come in on a daily with different issues, mentally, physically, emotionally. They're coming in, they're having constant compensational holding patterns.
Okay.
And they have no idea what's really going on or how to guide themselves towards wellness. And obviously my job is restoration and cleanup of all their junk. So they have to do their own homework in order to set their pain free. And so I have to wear 10 different hats. And what I always tell people is that when you're getting up in the very beginning of your day, if you're getting up in pain, negative, constantly thinking about down here, the vibration, the low vibration of keeping your body, your brain at a level where you're not going to be able to function, that is not the key to wellness. You have to free yourself from pain by looking at different aspects. It's not one thing that is going to get you well. A pill is not going to fix things. Just massage therapy is not going to fix things. Sometimes they come in my door and they think I'm going to wave a magic wand and they feel great. And then they go out and they screw themselves up again. And I've told them, hey, I do active isolated stretching. Let me help you. Let me teach you. And I go in and I teach them, but you can only teach at what they're actually going to respond to and receive.
Okay.
So if a person doesn't want to listen to something that you're giving them that's going to help them, you can't make them do it. But what makes them do it is how they feel. So I always tell people, feeling is healing. You have to feel the healing. Obviously, you can't really use fix. You can't use the word heal. You can't. But you know what you can do, Sherry, is you can actually sit on the fact that if you stay positive on a daily basis and you look forward to trying to get yourself better, that is definitely the angle you want to come from. Not from moaning and groaning and being negative and crying and saying, woe is me. If you constantly do that, you're going to go nowhere.
That's true. No, that is true. You got to be positive. You got to have your thoughts positive. And where your focus is, I see it's very important, you know?
The focus and intention is extremely important. So I, literally over 20 years ago, I've always been in a gym. I've been an athlete. I've worked out. I've tried to balance my life as much as possible. Even though my husband, he would disagree a little bit. He is extremely organized, and he has shown me and helped me in where I lack. So he's been a mentor to me, and I have seen a lot of mentorship throughout my life. through meeting certain clients, certain people that I've actually conferenced with, that I've actually took their classes and learned from. Learning is a forever process. So anyone who does a craft knows that the only way to quote unquote master your craft is to work on it every day.
Okay. That's true. That's so true. And it helps people to remember this too, but to do it, you know. What are some of the experiences that you can recall from some of your clients that you worked on? Is there something that stands out or was so transformational in the feedback that you had?
I have. So I've worked on many genres of people, anywhere from paraplegics, quads to MS, Parkinson's, cancer, and multiple autoimmune dysfunctions, as well as joint replacements and back surgeries and all that.
Okay.
I've had definitely my fill of great experiences with clients that really touched me because it was a privilege to work with them. I had a woman that was a paraplegic and came into me overweight, over medicated. And I said, well, I can't do anything for you until, you know, you work on trying to help yourself get off the medication, with your doctor's help, of course, and trying to detox and lose some weight first, because you have to have your brain turned on to get your body to do what you want it to do. If you're over medicated, if you drink excessive alcohol, you smoke cigarettes, you fill your body with all kinds of bad stuff besides bad food and cheeseburgers and processed food and all that kind of stuff, you're literally retraining your muscle memory when you come see me.
Wow.
Through active isolated stretching and strengthening. And through tapping into neuromuscular centers in your body. So your central nervous system is all out of whack, besides your energy and all your negative thought processes. You're not going to be able to gain a footing. And so that's what I encourage people to do, is to look at all those aspects of health and wellness, because you can't just expect a person to get you well. You have to go.
They have to do their work.
You have to work hard. You do. I mean, I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. No one's perfect. So we all have stuff to work on. And that's why we have each other. And that's why I wanted to do this show with you this morning, is because I really want to reach a lot of people on sharing with people. I'm actually writing a book right now. I've just kind of gotten into the whole start of the process of writing a book. Has nothing to do with therapy. It will include some fun stories. But you know, like the paraplegic that did the homework and she got foot surgery, she's been stretching, she's been doing all kinds of therapies, lost weight, and is walking better. Another one, stage 4 cancer, cancer free, you know, took on the world of knowledge of IV therapy and naturopathy and herbal, and going to a functional medicine physician. Another one that I can recall would definitely be a very young person, not an old person. Okay, everybody associates bad health with being old. No, an age is just a number. So literally, though, she had a very rare form of a disease, and she traveled outside the United States to get healthy, and has carried and continued. And you know, you can't say cured, but she no longer walks in the shoes of just the everyday person of going to the pharmacy and picking up prescription meds. She's really transformed her life. But like I say, I've also gained a lot of relationships and learning from my clients that teach me on a daily basis of how appreciative I should be for my own health. and for my own life. So I kind of made a little outline, fun little outline.
Absolutely.
And I tried to drink as much espresso this morning to bring all kinds of energy.
Yeah.
About developing repetitive good habits to break vicious downward spirals. So that's the first topic. And some of the things that I listed is listen to your sleep cycle. I literally couldn't be a mom to my daughter Ava, be a halfway decent wife to my wonderful, absolutely incredible husband that helped you. He's just and want to do all these fun things, like kind of like write a book or do other, forms of creative outlets that I really find enticing. If I was just going on 2 hours of sleep a night, it's going to wear down your autoimmune system. You're going to become sick all the time. Literally, tons of my clients are always dehydrated. They wonder why they're shriveling up like a prune from the inside out. And they have no energy. They're fatigued. So, you get up in the morning, you want that burst of like, hey, I'm going to go take on the world. You can't take on the world if you're only running on nothing. Coffee, which I'm not drinking espresso because I need the energy. I'm drinking it because I love espresso. So that's number one. Number two is also drinking water. Your body is like 80% water. So if you're constantly dehydrated, and you're over-toxing yourself again with alcohol, with, just all kinds of sugars and bad stuff, your inflammatory process in your body is going to rocket. And therefore, you're going to have all kinds of gut health issues and you can't function properly. The next one, sorry, I dropped my piece of paper. Avoid food on shelves. There is no such thing as food that exists on shelves. It is not food. I am guilty of allowing my teenage daughter to, and she plays volleyball. She's very healthy, but everybody has their go-to. Hey, I'm going to have a day off. It's about balance. So of course you're not going to be perfect, but just don't eat tons of it on a daily basis. Try to space it out. If you're going to go to a movie, obviously, you're probably going to have popcorn. Enjoy yourself. You got to enjoy life too. And that's part of making life the best, is being able to treat yourself, but also being able to have some good, healthy boundaries. I said also, too, becoming more familiar with functional medicine versus Western medicine, because there's a need for both. Obviously, if you're going to go in for surgery, you're more than likely probably not going to have a doctor of Oriental medicine follow you in and have them do acupuncture while you're being cut open. So that's the difference between both of them, is that there is preventative. There is also the fact that when you usually go to a Western medicine doctor, you usually don't want to go see them. That's usually not a fun experience for people other than a yearly physical. So if you do the preventative work, it definitely outweighs the outcome of going to a doctor and going, oh, wow, I have all these cardiac issues and stuff like that. Again, learning to balance your time efficiency process. So, if you're time efficient, whether it be at your place of work, in your daily personal life, my husband would definitely say, hey, if you get more organized, Sierra, with this, that, the other thing, it makes your life easier. It just really does. So organization is definitely something that does help people. And obviously, super intelligent people usually are very messy. Beth Perry So, hello, Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Thanks for joining us. Learning to say no to stressors. I am really bad at this because I am the kind of person, and I'm going to be honest about this, that I'm a doer, and I'm a person that if I don't have enough to do sometimes, I feel like I'm just not using my time wisely. And what I've learned over the years, especially meeting you, Sherry, and talking to you, is you don't always have to be doing things to be productive. Sometimes you have to relax, shut your brain off, enjoy a good movie with your husband, your dog, your daughter, lay outside in the sun, which I've done a few times now. It looks like I got a great tan. But I've really learned to kind of slow down a little bit, and that's really helped me quite a bit. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And that's actually going to be a part of my fictional book based on true events. So it's going to be a little embellished. It's going to be funny. I'm kind of funny. I like having a sense of humor. It's going to be something that is shared with people to allow them to feel included and not alone. And there's a lot of things in my life that's happened in my young life that a lot of people would be like, oh wow, I can't believe she became a therapist and she's helping people. And that therapy is my therapy. Therapy is my therapy. So yeah, and then, no to stressors, just if you know something is going to obviously stress you out, like toxic family members, toxic friends, overcommitting yourself at work, and you don't have enough family time, aren't allowed to just go home and enjoy a good conversation with your husband and enjoy a good meal, that's not healthy either. And that's time balance.
Yeah.
So Beth, do you have a question? I don't know. She said hello.
Yes, she does. And I'm gonna. This is her question. She did text me a question, and we are going to answer her question.
Okay.
And her question is, this is Beth Perry from Michigan, so everybody knows this, and I think she's from Waterford. If
I'm
not,
from Ohio. I like Michigan.
Your neighbors.
Yeah.
Her question is, can your techniques be used with Reiki or dowsing?
Yes, they can. So there are a lot of people that are really into Reiki. They're into energy work, and there's a lot of people that aren't. Energy is real. You're obviously, you know this. I mean, your energy field is really big. And so that transference process is real. If I come into a therapeutic setting, very mad, angry, depressed, whatever, I'm not going to make that client feel better. And obviously my position is to make my clients feel better. So whether it be doing any type of technique with massage therapy, even the stretching and the verbal communication with my client, that is all an energy exchange. Reiki is guiding the flow of energy.
Okay. Yes.
Dowsing is being able to fine tune the balance of the body and find out where they're kind of off. So that if they need supplementation, chiropractic, other things outside of the norm of what they do lifestyle wise, that's what dowsing is used for. So yes.
That was a good question. We have another question if you'd like to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is from Kathy Flaska, and Kathy Flaska Thorsten, and her last name is Thorsten. She's from Cedar, Michigan, and her question to you is, how do you feel reflexology plays in the management of pain?
It's a huge pain management technique. Actually, there have been nurse practitioners in the Western medicine field that have came to find how important it is. Because again, coming back to your central nervous system, it runs on your fight or flight, right? Which is your sympathetic, which is kind of what you can control. And then your parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest, which is obviously, you know, the food you put in your mouth, whatever you ingest is going to be playing on your organ systems. Besides direct negative energy to your gut, right? That can give people gut health issues. Obviously, love problems can give people heart health issues, the lack of. So any type of reflexology, you're not using needles like an acupuncture. So for people that are afraid of needles, they can target those meridian systems and get those organs kind of awake again and get those problems either post-operatively or, you know, even prior to and having acute problems. Very important.
Wow. And how, you know, a lot of the stuff, a lot of things happen with people, it feels emotional. Is there like, it feels like a lot of it is something that's happened in their life, or it's a combination, not just emotional. Food plays a role, but food also plays underlying emotions.
Yes.
So
they can't let it go. They can't let it go. If a person is chronically angry, it's going to go to their liver. And that's Chinese medicine. If a person is a worrier, it's going to go to their spleen. That energy is really real. And so until people understand that you can wake up and manifest your day, you can actually manifest, I am going to walk into this week and kick ass and really do it. You can do that. But I think being human, we all have those intricacies of like you talked about past lives, or you talk about, you know, relationship, marital issues, children, a lot of just not understanding and not knowing how to be happy. I think that having a life class for people would be very valid, especially for teens. You know, my daughter is going into high school. In my book that I am going to write, people will understand why I had so much misguidance in my life, and it took me a very long time to understand what living life truly meant, and what being happy and having those healthy relationships and letting go. I think not forgiveness, but I think the letting go. So you always hear that whole saying, forgive and forget. Well, it's sometimes very hard to forget. And when you hold that baggage, that's a chronic backpack on your back that you have to empty. Because why should anybody else have to deal with that? And that's why I feel so very blessed to have my husband in my life now, because he has really mentored me in that way. I don't have to carry all that crap anymore. I now have a partner for life that wants to see me succeed and do wonderful things. If that answers your question.
No, that was a very good question, because it's a lot of emotionals, and like you said, people carry it with the back. That's like the upper back or throughout the back, and that's why they have such back pain sometimes, is they still have to feel and release it.
Neck pain, guilt. Neck pain with guilt.
Oh, really? Back pain with guilt. Okay.
So I kind of got like this little thing in my shoulder recently, about 2 weeks ago. And I didn't really understand that. I kept thinking about the load of stuff that I was trying to accomplish, because I am one of those people that I have to make my brain slow down, because it's like I project. So my brain is way out here in my body, and it's like, no, Sierra, no, Sierra, no, Sierra. And that's where that pain was coming from, because as soon as I let go of my thoughts of, hey, you don't have to be in the future right now. You need to be right here and be present and enjoy today, because you don't know if there's a tomorrow. So what do we carry in our stomach fat?
Oh, that's a good one. A lot of us want to know that one.
That's very, she's really funny. What do we carry in our stomach fat? You know, honestly, a lot of people have different problems, health issues. You know, what do we carry in our stomach fat? Well, a pound of fat, if anybody wants to really talk about fat, if you actually see what a pound of fat, 1 pound,
oh wow,
does, okay, with all the pressure on people's backs, and it's really disgusting. When you start looking at it from a health perspective, it's not about being skinny. It's about being healthy. It's not about condoning being obese. And that's the society that we live in today, is we're actually accepting unhealthy lifestyles. It's not about being skinny. It's not bullying people. It's on social media stuff. It's not about these girls looking at other people and admiring them and going, oh, I want to be like them, and comparing themselves. It's not that. The body fat that people carry around literally increases their inflammatory response. And, you know, I see it all the time. I got people with allergens. I got people with skin issues, terrible skin issues, which is the major organ of our body. And I also have, you know, a lot of people that, I mean, when they start getting fatty livers and they start getting a lot of the bloating around their waist, it's very uncomfortable. But they, you know, they don't realize colon cancer, you know, has a lot to do with the colon health. Nobody ever wants to talk about that, right? And I could actually say no one ever wants to talk about that crap, but it's really healthy. So, you know, it really depends on who you are, your diet that you have, your supplementation, your detox, your, you know, do you kind of flush the body from time to time? We got parasites. You know, we're the largest walking microbiomes. We're like huge germs walking around, which is actually kind of a funny analogy that I used with a client of mine. I said, you know, think about it, right? People that wash their hands, which you should wash your hands, right? The people that are very phobic of touch, and they're very phobic, especially during COVID. COVID spun people's thought processes into a lot of fears. And then they started getting really, I mean, like obsessive. The Clorox, right? This is something that I told someone, I said, you constantly use Clorox on your hands. Guess where it goes? In your bloodstream. We have good, healthy bacteria in our gut for a reason, to keep our bodies working efficiently. And we have bad bacteria, obviously, you know, and you can get that from multiple things. You can get that from swimming in a lake. I swam in a lake at the age of 12 and got a parasite. And it really changed a lot of my body at the time. It really screwed up my gut pretty bad. I got on medication for it, and obviously that wasn't the answer, because I wasn't a therapist back then. I didn't, you know, I wasn't raised to know, to study a lot of the gut health issues that people have. But people need to be looking at, you know, all the nasty, disgusting things that when people detox and they see it come out of them, it's true. And it's just like deworming your dogs and your animals. Humans, we have stuff that promotes a lot of cortisol release, adrenal health issues. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand, again, if you just balance, you start to educate yourself and be the health advocate for you. You don't go to your doctor expecting him to know everything or to be God. You know, you expect to research for yourself and do your own homework and try to educate yourself so that you have a broader perspective of what it means to be healthy. And don't listen to everything you hear. You know, I have clients go on Wikipedia all the time and self-diagnose themselves, and then they throw themselves into this whole emotional mental tizzy, which is what COVID did for a lot of people. And, you know, people made themselves sick. they literally got so frantic over every single little thing, they quit living life on a daily. So I just tell people, you know, you gotta be as involved as you can be, but you can't worry about every single little thing. You can walk out the door and literally get ran over by a car. Anything could happen. So if you get yourself into that worry bubble constantly, you're not doing it right. You're not having fun. You're not living life. So yeah, stomach fat, you know, and a lot of ascites. There's a lot of people with a lot of water issues that carry a lot of water on their stomachs. I palpate for a living with my hands, and a lot of people always ask me, because I've been doing therapy for a long time, and people are like, do your hands hurt? And I'm like, no, these are my tools. So I've only got just a few things that I use other than my hands. I don't use them that much. My hands are my tools. I can't feel, I can't palpate. I can actually tell tissue differences between diabetics, cancer, and just having people with healthy tissue. So, but that comes from literally touching people for a living for a long time. So.
Yeah, wow. This was a lot of information. It was really a lot of knowledge and a lot of educating people today. You had a lot of good information here. Sierra, we just loved it. And I know the people that are watching and those who will rewatch this will get a lot of wealth of information. And you're right, it is balance. It is important to come into balance. And we have to look at, what I really loved that you really touched on too, that you have to look on what's causing it. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What is the thoughts? Like thinking those thoughts. And I think that's a good technique. If you're feeling a pain, go there. Find out what am I doing that's causing that pain? You know,
cause and effect.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing, avoid directly triggering your bad habits. Set your alarm clock to challenge the morning workout exercises that release good stuff, the good stuff. So you know, if you know that when you get up in the morning and everything you bought to eat is not good for you, and you're the one that bought it, and you're the one that went to the grocery store, and you're the one that put it in your fridge or your pantry, and you're the one responsible for it, you're the one also responsible too for what happens to you later on down the road, right? Nobody else is. You can't blame. People are on this kick of blaming everybody else for their problems. And Sherry, I've found more people since Hurricane Ian and COVID, the stress, the anger, the shortness, the rudeness, the inconsideration.
Mm-hmm.
We're all in this together. So you know, if you want to turn your life around, do some of those things, and then quit the negative self-talk. Speak your truth. So that's why I'm writing this book. So speak your truth. I just had a conversation with a good friend of mine the other day about speaking the truth into what it is that's going to make you happy. And if you're not living your truth, you're not staying true to you, which was one of my Irish grandmother's biggest things to always tell me is stay true to yourself. You know, you may not look wonderful to somebody else because of how they perceive you or what they're thinking, what their experiences have been in their life to form a judgment against you. But if you can stay true to yourself, that's the biggest thing.
Huge. That's huge.
It is. It is. And so set a budget for yourself. That's the other problem a lot of people have. They can't manage their money really well. And then, right, they prioritize everything and everyone else but themselves. So I have clients that say, well, how can I eat healthy when, I don't make that much money? Or how can I supplement that well if I don't make that much money? Or how can I afford to go see a functional medicine physician if I don't make that much money? Well, guess what? What do you do? What do you prioritize as a stress release? Is it spending a bunch of money on clothes? Or is it, just sometimes when people get stressed, they go to the bars, right? We live in Florida, so it's party, 5 o'clock somewhere. They've got a really expensive boat that they can't afford. Even though I'm like on my husband, I'm like, hey, I want a boat. Because I love being out in the water and stuff like that. That's kind of my thing. But if you really think about it, it's pretty simple. Life is simple. We just make it a lot harder for ourselves. So that's what I kind of say is sit down and budget for yourself and prioritize for yourself. Put yourself first. Try your best to stay open. So I have a lot of people that you probably have came in contact with too. You've tried to say, hey, have you ever thought about this? And then they're just not open to it. While obviously the universe is only going to give you what you're open to. I mean, if I, since I literally spoke it out into the universe and I prayed about it and everything and about writing this book, and literally all of a sudden within the same week, I had 2 clients that are writing books that I had no idea that were writing books. And they came in and they said, oh, I have an editor. Or, oh, I've got somebody else. And I'm like, well, I'm a professional networker here. I need to know these people. So if you're wanting to do really fabulous things in your life, you have to be open to it. And the people will come, God, and like, you talk about the angels, you talk about your spirit guides, you talk about, people that have passed on. Some people are like, yeah, when I die, that's it. It goes black. And I'm like, really? Because I've had near-death experiences, and I've had a lot of injuries, and I've had a lot of just stuff happen that has taught me intuitively that, you know what, this isn't it. So I got news for people, like, this is very temporary. This is very temporary. The other thing is make a plan. Goals that are easy, attainable. My husband's always on me, again, because he's like, set attainable goals, Sierra. Set them. You can do this. Don't set 20 million things. Set 5. And he's actually right, because when you start to put too much on your list, I'm a list person. When you start to overload yourself, then you get disappointed and set back. So I also say to feel to heal. So create a safe place in your home for downtime and self-reflection. I need to meditate more. I'm not going to lie. That is one thing that I am very bad about, and I need to start doing more often, because whether it be writing, audiobooks, something inspiring, I'm one of those people that I get bored easy. So if I get bored easy, I feel like I need something to pick me up and get me going again, inspire me. And that's kind of where I'm at. I've got 4 years till my daughter is out of high school and my husband retires. So my job right now is to kind of get her going in her life and enjoy that part of my life. but I'm also looking for inspiring things that are going to kind of up the ante for energy. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to be doing that. And quit listening to things that distract you. I am a person that in the past I used to spin my wheels quite often because I was always avoiding myself. I was always avoiding the stuff that I needed to do to make the best version for everybody else, the best version of me for everybody else. So, you know, I'm doing this morning, I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about me. Because hopefully somebody will hear this and it will click like, oh, wow, she understands she's not perfect, right? No one's perfect.
Yep.
So distractions, I've got friends that do it. Distractions are easy. The wrong things to focus on are always easy. The hard stuff is focusing on you and focusing on where you need to correct your path and correct yourself. So that comes with awareness. And then, you know, we talked about the alcohol, the meds, the food, blah, blah, blah. Nobody ever addresses their hormones. That's actually one problem that I see quite a bit. And Beth, thank you too for asking all those awesome questions. And I'm glad that you heard it and maybe it helped you, because I've heard a lot of stuff from my clients, my husband, my daughter, my friends that have helped me, you, including Sherry. You've said some stuff to me that it just kind of like clicked. And that's why I love to share. And that's why I want to talk about hormones, vitamin deficiencies, besides dehydration. No one ever talks about this stuff. And this comes back to functional medicine. So, you know, you go to a psychiatrist, right? I don't have a psychiatrist. I'm saying I have clients that have psychiatrists, and there's no problem with that. They go in, they get some psychology, work up from a psychiatrist, their primary physician. Oh, you're depressed? Your husband just died? Your dog just died? Kind of sounds like a bad country song. Oh, by the way, you need this med, because it's going to make you happy. It's going to make you feel better. There are some people with mental health issues that absolutely need to be medicated. And I'm not saying that. Mental health nowadays is one of the top priorities in the United States. We have a lot of people with mental health issues that are struggling every single day.
Yep.
And there's people that don't talk about that. And it's really sad. We've had a lot of suicides. We've had a lot of people just, you know, do crazy stuff. And so I get that. You know, some people need that. And sometimes you don't, though. You got to look at the other stuff, too. Whereas you go to a functional medicine physician and get a second opinion and kind of combine and work with that Eastern Western medicine aspect. Are you B12 deficient? Are you vitamin D, magnesium deficient? What is your body actually running on? Because guess what? It really is a real thing. If a person's thyroid is out of control, it can actually mimic bipolar disorder. A lot of people don't know that. And it's really true. I thank God I've referred a lot of clients to a lot of physicians, and I've got a great nurse practitioner in Venice, on Venice Island. Her name is Dr. Ramsey. I don't know if she'll see this, but I'm going to send it to her because I really like her. She lives in Rotunda West. My husband's went to her. I am going to be going to her. But she does men and women's hormone panels, vitamin deficiencies, weight loss, all kinds of stuff. And so that's really important for men as well, to be really open to that, because I find that we're now kind of coming into a world where there's some more openness to certain things, and some things are like way overboard. But, you know, men and women need to pay attention to that, because if you don't, your hormones get all out of whack, and your vitamin levels go severely low, guess what? You're not going to perform well. You're not going to do well. It's going to decrease your longevity and your good choices. So.
Wow. That was really good information. I think a lot of people, I mean, I know a lot of people that will be watching this or are watching us will get a lot out of this. You know, Sierra, this was really good. You had a lot of experiences, you had a lot of knowledge and good advice for everyone. And I think this is huge. And I just want to say thank you for coming on our show. And how can people get a hold of you?
Okay, so they can find me on my website, sierrasbodyworks.com. I'm also on Facebook as well as Instagram. My phone number is obviously listed, but my phone number is 941-214-0954. They can text me or call me anytime. And I just want to end with a couple of benefits of bodywork, therapeutic massage, and goals and overall lifestyle. So I put down to, just to recap, the learning of the brain-body connection, what hurts, endorphin release and detox, what makes you feel good, what promotes, going back to vitamin deficiencies and hormones, move easier, increase flexibility and strength and lessen pain. I'm always telling people the stronger you are, the less pain you have, the more flexibility you have. Obviously, the more you can do. What is your age and why would it define you? So everybody does not always act their age. They either act really, really old, which I'm never going to get old because I don't act that way. But are you realizing you're keeping yourself trapped because of what you were taught? And we recapped that a little bit earlier about the programming of the brain. You've been programmed and taught, and how does that affect those outcomes? The childhood and adulthood perception. What does your ignorance versus your priorities look like? If we neglect ourselves, is it really worth it? And basically simplifying everything. 15, 20-minute routines to start up your engine or your sympathetic nervous system. So when you go to my website, you can see and read a little bit about me. And then obviously I've got an email on there. You can go right on. You can send inquiries via Form Smarts. And I will definitely get in touch with people and talk to them about what I can do protocol-wise for them. And like I said, I'm a great networker. I know a lot of people, so I try to put people in touch with the right people. You know, obviously, I'm not a doctor, so I can't prescribe, I can't diagnose, I can't do any of that stuff. But what I can do is I can connect them to good personal trainers, good physicians, people that I know, that I've used, that I trust, other clients throughout the years. And, you know, and that's what I did with Christine. You know, she started Pinnacle Health on Venice Island. She's probably buying a Ferrari by now because I've sent so many to her. So yeah, so thank you for having me on.
Oh, we so loved having you. We're definitely going to bring you back. I mean, this is just amazing. We just love having you. You have a wealth of information and knowledge to share. And then everyone's going to get a lot from it. I got some things from it, even listening to you. This was great. And we want everyone to go to the website for upcoming guests. So if you want to know who's coming on, we're every Tuesday at 10 a.m. You can watch us on Facebook. We are going to be adding YouTube and Spotify very soon. Yes. And we're so excited. So go to www.sherrylord.com, SHERRYLORD, to see the upcoming information. We also have Sierra's information on there too. So you can always click on it to get to our website real quick. And we just want to thank everybody for joining us, and especially Sierra. Thank you, Sierra. You've been wonderful. You've been amazing.
Thank you for having me. It was awesome, and I can't wait to do more with you and to maybe do some YouTube stuff myself, because my daughter is telling me, Mom, you need to get out there more. You just really
stepping into
here. Yeah, do it. So
you're beautiful inside and out. Thank you.
Thank you.